This conference is very important because it's intimate. The size of the groups are small. The people that are here are interested in various types of technology. They want to have solutions. They have real problems. You know, there's people that are operators that are here trying to figure out how to fix the operations. There's people that have technology mandates to innovate the business, and having a forum like this of this size is really effective because you have numerous opportunities to meet people, but you also have a chance to really get up to speed on all the latest things that are happening. So I would say this is a very effective conference. I think value chain management is going to be increasingly more important for the industry and how they look at their business, how they make decisions. They have a better understanding of where their costs are for making different improvements to the value chain. But being able to look at it from the end customer as well as the investor and understanding the economics in between in a dynamic system is really important to be effective as a mining company. Eliminating waste, driving out costs, and making improvements, I think is a really important thing. I think we're going to see more mining companies embrace this as they get closer to customers, and the advent of having more digital connectivity between the systems. People will start to be more mainstream, and it'll turn into more of a consumer-facing or consumer-oriented, customer-oriented system where people can, you know, the things will be set by demand as opposed to here's our production strategy, here's what we're going to build. It's really going to be more to the customer demand, so particularly in base metals. Well, that's really interesting because there was a number of them talked about in this conference this week, and the first one I heard about was from Cal Ruberg at Tech, and I didn't realize this, about the big change that's possible in the whole comminution space with, using electricity and energy to break up the materials, and then you can basically put it in a centrifuge as opposed to ball mills and balls and all the other things that consume about, we heard this week, 3% of the energy in the world. So that's a big breakthrough. That's generally half the cost for a company. So if you can make a change in that area, that's really good, and there'll be incremental changes that happen. The other one I think is really big is in situ leaching, and so when that happens, that just basically changes the whole mining value chain. You don't really do the mining; you just extract the resource, through chemicals and other means. So I think those are two big breakthroughs that are going to happen. I also see more partnerships like Rio Tinto talked about with Apple, and through the aluminum components, so I see that becoming more, and also very interesting conversation about the definition of mining and how that relates to the people and the systems and what we do is in the industry. So I think those are quite interesting things that are going to happen. Well, I think it's not just mining. It's every industry has to embrace innovation, and they have to have obviously support from boards and leadership and mandates from the group to back it up. They need to be clear about what the innovation's for. They have to have a very good understanding of the impact it's going to have on their value chain. And more importantly, they have to understand how that money gets paid back to the investors. But I think if you have the infrastructure, the support system in place, you have the right technical teams, and you have the right assessments, then you can be successful. And the companies that do that are going to be creating what I would call an uncompetitive advantage to their other competitors. They'll be much better.